Hi, this is Water and Air 1111. Thank you for watching another video of mine. Thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel and to my videos, and to everyone who's been getting personal readings from me. If you are interested in a personal reading, the link to my website is in the description below, as well as the link to my Instant Go if you just need a few tarot cards to answer your question. So yeah, I hope you all have been well. I was going to do the Divine Feminine Interfere video on Monday night, but then I had a lot going on with work because I do have a kind of day job, so to speak. So I'm back here on Tuesday now to do it, so I am sorry for the delay, but I'm here to do it. And I've had a lot of interesting feedback actually on the Divine Masculine Interfere video. I kind of understand where some of it's coming from, but other ones I'm not sure. When I do all of my readings, I'm in this whole experience with you guys. It's not like I'm sitting on a pedestal or anything and like saying this is what you guys need to do. It's like I'm getting signs and synchronicities about my own Divine Masculine, about my own journey, and going through the energy and the ups and downs and like day-to-day life just like everybody else. So like when I do readings, I'm learning from it, just as I hope you guys are getting some type of resonating with it or getting some type of insight as well. So I don't want it to be like with this Interfere video readings that I'm doing, that it's like this is what's happening and nothing's going to change. I feel like this is just a good insight to have, because we all have our own inner fears, our own inner anxieties that we go through, that we probably think our divine counterpart is unaware of or is not feeling, even though we know that we're connected. So this is just really to provide insight into that and understanding, and to have compassion, which I really like the comment that someone posted about having compassion and understanding, because that is what this is all about, whether this is your twin flame or not. So I just wanted to say that before going into this reading for the Divine Feminine Interfere. So again, please be open-minded. Please understand that this is just tapping into the energies at the time. That is why I do readings several times a week, because energies do change, especially around the eclipse that we had, and we're in Mercury retrograde, and I think 3 other planets are in retrograde as well, and we have more happening in August. So again, just insight. So had to say that at the beginning, just an FYI. So this is going to be your reading, Divine Feminine. We're going to be seeing what's going on with you. It's going to be the exact same layout. I'm going to be using my Tarot of Dreams deck, which I really love, and I'm going to start introducing some of my other new decks that I've had, that I've just been kind of getting used to and kind of bonding with the last couple of weeks. And then I'm just going to go ahead and clarify with the Rider-Waite deck, and I also have my Crystal Vision in case we need it. So let's go ahead and get started. So what are the inner fears of the Divine Feminine Collective? Divine Feminine Collective, inner fears, inner emotions that are causing fear, that are causing anxiety, that are causing stress. Divine Feminine Collective. Interesting. I'm already feeling like there's some confidence issues going on, Divine Feminine. Fear of failure, fear of, some of you fear of having wasted your time, fear of having wasted your energy. So let's see what's going on. Divine Feminine. Yeah, I'm feeling like confidence is a thing that's going on. Bottom of the deck is the Hanged Man. So kind of like what I was just saying with the fear of failure, there's some type of issue of being stagnant, of not making progress. Yeah, of like having wasted your time. So underneath that we have the Eight of Coins. Yeah, like having put work into something, put effort into something, and then still being stagnant in some way. Underneath that is Judgment, Queen of Wands, and Four of Swords. So yeah, I feel like Divine Feminine, kind of the impetus for some fear that you're experiencing, or for the fear that I'm picking up on for this reading, is that you've worked hard, you've left things behind from the past, you've kind of listened to all of the signs and guidance you've been receiving from the universe, but then there's the fear that you've done all of that work and then you're still stagnant at the end of the day, that you're still like haven't, almost like you're either still stagnant at the end of the day, you're not ending up where you want to be, or a fear that you're not receiving what you want. And because this is the Hanging Man, I feel like some of you, it's like you put in all of this work and effort, and then a fear that I put in all this work and effort, and then my masculine energy, my masculine counterpart is still hanging around, not making action towards me. So either self-stagnation or fear that you've put in your work on your side, but it hasn't been manifested to come through from your divine counterpart. So again, we're going to just do 3 cards, keeping it simple, straight to the point. Okay, so first card, interferes Divine Feminine. We have the 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I'm so bad at Roman numerals. 9 of Cups in reverse. So, just like what I was saying, fear that you're putting into work into something, but you're not receiving what you want, or your divine masculine isn't coming towards you, so stagnation from some side. So fear that you're not going to get what you want, that you're not going to get to the point where you feel truly happy with everything in your life, especially from an emotional point of view. It's like, even though you've put in all of this work, even though you've made all this progress, there's fear that, okay, well, am I going to get my rewards? Am I going to get these 9 cups back, saying, now it's time to celebrate almost, now it's time to kind of receive the fruits of your labor, so to speak. Because with the 9 of Cups, it's like, I'm completely happy, I have everything I could want, I have everything that I could kind of wish for, not just materially, but it's like, I'm like, my cups are overflowing, my emotions are overflowing, I'm so happy. Some of you are really scared that you're not going to get to that point where you feel really happy, especially on an emotional level, especially in terms of how you feel, not how you feel about yourself, but how you feel in relation to others. In particular, your divine masculine. You don't feel like you're ever going to get to the point where you feel, or you fear that you're never going to get to the point where you are like super happy with everything that's going on in your connection. And again, I don't think this is for everyone. I feel like this is obviously dependent on whatever's going on between you and your divine masculine right now, but there's still that fear that you're not going to be able to have that ultimate kind of happiness together, that ultimate I'm sitting on top of the world type of feeling. So I'm going to get a card from the Crystal Visions deck to see if we can clarify this. Okay, so what is this Nine of Cups reversed? Four of Pentacles. Like I said, some of you are having that fear that I'm never going to be happy. And I feel like Four of Pentacles sometimes is you're so scared of releasing something so you hold on tight. Some of you are so scared that you're not going to get this happiness with your Divine Masculine that you're kind of holding on tight from completely letting yourself, for those of you in communication, you're holding yourself back from completely letting yourself kind of fall back into the swing of things with your Divine Masculine. For those of you who are not really in communication, who are in, no communication with your Divine Masculine, it's like, I fear I'm never going to get that happiness with them, so I'm going to hold myself back from completely giving my energy to them. It's almost like some of you like know that someone is your twin flame, that someone is your Divine Masculine, but because you have fear over things really coming together to receive this kind of union and partnership, reunion and partnership and stable 3D connection that, I mean, myself and other readers pick up on, and that other twin flames who have come into union are experiencing right now. There's a fear of that not happening, of things not working out in your favor, that you are holding yourself back. So I feel like there's actually some people watching this who not are denying that they have a twin flame, but are maybe a little bit cynical about it, a little bit cynical about the concept of twin flames. You're not letting something go. You're just holding yourself back because you're like, I'm scared. I don't really know. I fear that this isn't going to work in my favor. So I'm just going to hold myself back. I'm going to try and protect my energy. I'm going to ignore signs and synchronicities, which only makes it come stronger. I'm going to, cut off. I'm going to limit communication if I am receiving communication from my masculine. That sort of thing. And the bottom of the deck for that is the Judgment card. So again, I feel like there's a fear that things aren't going to work in your favor, that you're not going to get to the point where you feel really happy. So instead of just kind of releasing it and letting it go, you're just holding back, and you're kind of making the decision, some of you, to either kind of take time away from your divine counterpart, take time away from your kind of the twin flame journey, or just kind of really keep at arm's length your Divine Masculine. Now underneath the Judgment card is the Four of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Swords. So it's like you're really trying to balance yourself. You're so scared that things are not going to happen. You're so fearful that things are not going to happen in a way where you could feel emotionally happy and satisfied in your life in general, but in particular regarding your Divine Masculine, that you are just starting to block yourself off. And it's interesting because in the bottom of the deck over here, remember we had Hanged Man, Eight of Coins, the Judgment card, the Queen of Wands. So it's like, you know that you've put into work, you know that you've made some progress on your journey for who you are and identifying like what your path is. But at the same time, there's still fear that even though you've made it this far, that you're not going to get there quite all the way, or that your Divine Masculine's not going to get there quite all the way, to the point where you feel like, well, then how am I supposed to be happy? Or it's not going to turn out in my favor, that I get to be this Nine of Cups feeling, where I feel like I have everything, where I feel like I'm so happy and everything's provided for, and I'm just truly like living in the moment. So then it's like you're holding back because of that fear. So what is this Four of Pentacles about? Wow, the Hanged Man reversed. Like I said, you are feeling like, I've been on my journey, I've become aware of so many things, but I'm still holding back because I don't know if my Ace of Cups with my Divine Masculine is going to come. This is what I want to make me happy. Like upright, this is what will make you really happy, divine feminine. But it's like you're fearing that it's not going to happen. You're fearing that you're not going to get that renewal, that deepening of the relationship between the two of you. What else is this Four of Pentacles about? The High Priestess. So again, I feel like you, like I said, you've been on the journey, you've learned your lesson, you've been listening to your intuition, but there's still fear. There's still fear that you're not going to have what you want. You maybe fear that, and I like that this is coming up as a sword because I'm identifying this with the Divine Masculine, and if you saw the Divine Masculine version of this reading, there were quite a few swords. And underneath that is the Ace of Wands. So it's like your intuition may be telling you something's coming with your Divine Masculine, but again, the fear is saying, no, masculine isn't coming. How is this new beginning going to start? Maybe they're in a relationship with someone else. How are my ships going to come? All of that doubt is really coming through. That fear is really coming through for you, Divine Feminine. So what's going to happen as this Nine of Cups continues? Nine of Cups reverse. No, nothing is wanting to come out. King of Swords. So even though you are feeling fear, you need to really get clarity in your mind. You really need to ground yourself, I feel like, Divine Feminine. Clear your mind. Go through, you know, inner thinking and inner evaluation to decide, like that Romance Angels card. Clearly decide what you want so that it can come, you know, into your life. And look at that. Two of Cups. Clearly decide what it is you want. And I feel like this is saying, excuse me, you need to clearly make these decisions within you internally and mentally because, you know, it is a two-way street. We do feel each other's energy. So, you know, being topsy-turvy is not only impacting you, it's impacting your other half. So let's go to the next card because I was on that quite a while. Interferes, Divine Feminine, King of Wands upright. Now, I'm pretty sure that we got the King of Wands or the Knight of Wands reversed for the Divine Masculine. So with the fear, well, this being fear though, some of you are fearing that your Divine Masculine is going to come in and just try and control the situation between the two of you to try and move everything in his favor and not in a compromising way. I feel like some of you, Divine Feminine, are feeling like fearful that your Divine Masculine may be operating from his ego, even though I wouldn't typically associate that with this. I feel like there's some fear that, oh, my Divine Masculine's going to come through thinking that he can control the situation and kind of shape it to be whatever he wants. And then we'll be like on this cycle again. Then we'll have to redo this all again. And again, it's like I put in so much work and effort. I don't want to feel like I've lost something. I don't want to feel like time has passed me by or feel like my Divine Masculine hasn't even, you know, learned his lesson, learned his karmic lesson, learned whatever he needed to learn or whatever she needed to learn. Wow. King of Wands clarified by the King of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Cups. So like I said, some of you are having fear that your Divine Masculine is going to come through and just kind of almost be the same old story as before. Maybe be charming, but at the end, maybe be passionate, be sexual, be physical, be lustful, all of that stuff, and kind of sweep you off your feet a little bit. But then at the same time, be controlling. be a little bit dominating, and not necessarily, I don't feel like it's controlling like you have to do everything I say, but controlling like trying to make things in their terms versus yours, trying to make everything convenient for them and what they're wanting, but not necessarily in a compromising way. So a fear that your divine masculine is still wanting to just have everything their rules or their way or the highway, so to speak. So let's go to, oh, I didn't show you that. King of Cups. Oh, so that was the Knight of Cups. Then we had the Strength card, Ace of Wands, and the Death card. So I do feel like, again, it's like a fear that your divine masculine is going to just come through and be like, it's still my way or the highway. I'll sweep you off your feet. I'll charm you a little bit, but I still want things to be my way. The King of Wands. What is this about? Fear, divine feminine. Five of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Swords. Like I said, I feel like this is a fear that your divine masculine is going to come through like a road runner, like a daredevil, saying, it's my way or the highway, let's do things, let's get this up and moving, but then things haven't changed, and then you're left behind, and then you feel left behind, you feel left out in the cold. And again, that's not something that you want. That is the situation that you had previously been in, and that's the situation you're wanting to end. So underneath the Ten of Swords is the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands reversed, and the Devil reversed. So it's like there's a fear that even if your divine masculine has learned their lesson and has gotten their life together, you're afraid that they're still going to behave specifically with you in the same way, like reverting back to the old templates of how you guys would interact, of how the relationship boundaries were established or not established, and then you feeling alone at the end of that, you feeling like you've lost out again, because it's like falling back into the same habits, falling back into the same patterns. Okay, so I guess we're supposed to take those. We have the Queen of Wands, we have the Eight of Pentacles again, and we have the Five of Wands reversed. I still feel like this is like, even though your divine masculine may have learned some type of karmic lesson, may have gotten over some type of struggle they were dealing with, and has been putting a lot of effort and work into finding their own stability and becoming better. And the Queen of Wands came out separately in this column, which was all about your fears of not being happy again. And the Queen of Wands was looking at this Eight of Pentacles and the Five of Wands reversed. So I feel like you, divine feminine, are looking like, yeah, my divine masculine has changed, but are they going to help me push me to the next level and help me accomplish the things that I want and help be the partner that I want so that we can be on the same page? I feel like this is about goal setting. You're worried that the goals that you've already created for yourself and that you've kind of have been forming in your life, have becoming more apparent that this is something is part of your path for you to complete. You're worried that, am I going to be able to get there with this new version of my divine masculine? Yeah, they've gotten out of their ego a bit. Yeah, they've, you know, kind of gotten on quote unquote the right track. They've gotten their life together a bit, but are they going to be this controlling person? Are they going to help me get towards the next level for where I'm supposed to be and where I feel we're supposed to be together? Or they're just going to be about them, be about their own business. Bottom of the deck is the Three of Swords. So there's fear that, you know, divine masculine may almost throw you off your game, throw you off your path. And it's like, I'm just going back to this deck where it has the Hanged Man as the bottom of our deck with the Eight of Pentacles underneath and the Judgment card underneath that and the Queen of Wands underneath that again. So it's like a fear that I put in this work and this journey, and I see my divine masculine has made changes, but is it going to end up stagnating me? Is it going to end up helping me grow to the next level or not? Underneath the Three of Swords, there's the Ten of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the Star. So like I said, we've overcome things. My divine masculine has overcome things. But are they going to be there for the next stage in my life, for the next stage in my journey as a person, as a soul, as a twin flame, as someone who has a mission and higher calling? Or is it going to lead me to this point where we're separate again, where we're apart, where we are not seeing eye to eye? So what else do we need to know about this King of Wands energy going forward? Two of Wands reversed is the card that came out. So if you let your if your divine masculine comes in, you have to be willing to channel your energy and say, I'm on a mission to wherever you're on a mission to XYZ. And if you and where you're coming from isn't aligning with that higher mission, with my higher passion, then it's going to be a distraction and it's going to pull me off my path, and it's going to be hard for us to work on this. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Cups reverse. If your energy is distracted and your energy is not balanced, is unaligned, is not taking you to where you need to go, then it's not going to work. And that's, again, the fear that your divine masculine is still going to want things their way, is not going to want some type of compromise, is going to be more about them and not necessarily about you. And so then it'll end in that heartbreak again. It'll end in that separation again. So let's go to the last card again. Interferes, Divine Feminine, Knight of Cups reverse. And we've gotten several cups already. So again, the fear that not only are you not going to be emotionally happy, or you're not going to be able to get to the point where you're emotionally happy, or that your divine masculine is going to come in and try and just revert back to the old templates. But also there's a fear here, divine feminine, that, you know, this offer isn't even coming. So before we get to the point where we can be concerned about, is something going to make me happy long term, or be concerned about how is my divine masculine acting now, there's a fear that, okay, well, is my divine masculine getting here, or are they not? Or is this my divine masculine at all? I feel like lots of doubts are coming through with this card. Not just, am I getting an offer, or are they going to express themselves, but are they even my divine masculine? And something, I mean, I always say, I feel like that's an inner knowing. That's something that I'm not going to answer, because it is something internal. You really know, and if you're honest with yourself and honest and open to the messages you're receiving from your intuition, from your spirit guides, and ask for signs, then it will tell you. And I feel like it's always kind of an awkward thing when I'm asked, or when someone's like, can you confirm for me? Because it really is an inner knowing. And yeah, there are definitely some people on here, some people on YouTube who may not be actual twin flames, and that's fine, but it's just to be aware of whatever that truth is. Not having a twin flame doesn't make you better or worse than anyone, because we're all still connecting with others. You still are going to have soulmates. But this is definitely that fear of doubt of, is this my person? Is this my twin? Are they coming? Are they not coming? Are they going to come and not even express themselves open and honestly to the extent that I want them to? So the card we got is the Death reversed. Okay, in the bottom of the deck, of course, is the Ace of Swords, that clarity of mind, that new ideas, that expression. So, with this Death card in reverse, clarifying the Knight of Cups in reverse, the fear is that some of you are fearing like, okay, so if my divine masculine doesn't come, then some of you are questioning how you can like end the connection that you have with your divine masculine because it's been so long without communication. Some of you are like, if this offer doesn't come, what happens to our connection? Does our connection literally die or does it not die? And if it doesn't die, then how do I kind of move forward without that if this expression of this communication doesn't happen? And underneath the Ace of Swords is the Strength card, the King of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and the Devil. So it's like, if my divine masculine doesn't get over some type of karmic situation, doesn't find the strength to do so, I need to have a new start in some way. But how do I kind of disconnect the connection with my divine masculine from the other things that I'm trying to achieve and accomplish in my life in terms of relationships and connecting to each other, particularly for those of you who may have a soulmate coming in or who already have a soulmate that's been kind of waiting to come in for you. How do you disconnect that if your divine masculine doesn't come in? And for those of you who that's not the case for, there's just the fear that, okay, well, is my divine masculine ever going to tell me XYZ? It's like, we're always connected. This connection isn't going to die. This connection is always going to be here. And I've accepted that, but like, you want some type of confirmation through communication. So why is this Death card in the reverse? So we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So like I said, there's the fear that, okay, this connection isn't going to die, even if we don't get it together, even if I don't receive an offer, which is what I'm fearing, the connection is not going to end. So how do I stop feeling burdened by this? This is for those of you, especially who are like, maybe you've tried to cut cords with your divine masculine, or you're thinking of doing so, or you're just wanting to forget, you're wanting to move on with another person, or just in general, kind of close this chapter for some of you. How do you close the chapter on someone you're always connected to? Page of Cups in reverse. So again, it's that fear that I'm not going to get balanced with my divine masculine. Are they going to come in and express themselves? I've been waiting. Underneath the Temperance, Strength in reverse, the Empress, Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles reverse. You've been putting in work. You've been waiting. You've been trying to balance yourself. You've been trying to be strong, even though you waver a little bit, because you want this new beginning. But if it doesn't come, Page of Cups reverse, Page of Pentacles reverse, and this connection is everlasting, how do I continue on with that? How do I continue on in my life knowing that's the case? And we have the Sun, we have the Lovers reversed, and we have the King of Cups reversed. So again, it's like, some of you are trying to figure out how to be happy not having your twin in your life. Full stop. Some of you are trying to figure out, like I mentioned before, like if my twin doesn't come, if my masculine doesn't come, and there's no offer, and the connection is ever present, how do I move on from that? How do I still have clarity of mind to pursue other things in my life? Eight of Cups in reverse. How do I leave behind certain emotional baggage? And then we have the Nine of Cups, Seven of Cups, the Fool reverse. How do I move on and try and leave behind some of this baggage? And how do I move on and try to kind of become happy again, even though I'm not receiving this offer? Some of you are fearing that moving on, fearing the reality that maybe you're not getting communication when you want to, or that you're not getting it in the kind of immediate future, and thinking, well, maybe I should go do something else. Maybe I should try and pursue something else. Maybe I should just do something that makes me happy, that goes in a different direction. So then, just as an overall card, yeah, we have Ten of Wands reversed. So it's about dropping your burdens. Try to stop worrying, Divine Feminine. Stop worrying about, you know, is he or isn't he? Is she or isn't she? What's going to happen with this? Am I going to be stagnant? Am I going to be moving forward or not? Ace of Swords reverse, King of Cups reverse. Am I going to get that message or not? Am I going to get that my Divine Masculine to come in as the King of Cups, expressing themselves or not? What's going to happen? So that's the inner fears of the Divine Feminine right now. Again, thanks for watching. If you're interested in a personal reading, the link is in the description to my website. And I forgot to mention before, I'm thinking about doing a live stream this weekend. I will let you guys know for sure. I may just pop in randomly and just do one because sometimes it's hard for me to plan the weekend exactly. But just stay tuned for that, and I will see you in my next video.